when did comedy become a thing? And you do more, right? You write, you produce. Like, when did that
Yeah.
become a thing for Alton?
I'm funny, then somebody asked me, hey, can you do like 15 minutes for $2 or something like that? I was like, oh. And so I got up there and talked for 15 minutes and did whatever, and it worked. It worked, man. So that's when I'm like, oh, this is how you do it. Okay. So 2 years ago, I created a thing called the Comedy Gym. I treat it like a sport. Like Steph Curry shoots thousands of shots a week. Probably, he shoots a lot of shots a week. So as a comedian,
Welcome to Mick Unplugged, where we ignite potential and fuel purpose. Get ready for raw insights, bold moves, and game-changing conversations. Buckle up. Here's Mick.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of Mick Unplugged. And this one's going to be a little bit different. I'm starting with a public service announcement and a disclosure. If you are driving your car, go ahead and pull over. If you're eating food, put it down. If you are drinking anything, sit the cup or glass down, because Mick Unplugged and Mick Hunt will not be responsible if you wreck your car or choke on food or water today. Because today's guest is a versatile comedian, a speaker, a social media influencer, a media personality whose content has taken the internet by storm over the last several years. Known for his God Ain't Please rants, he has shared the stage with comedy legends like Kevin Hart, Ricky Smiley, Mike Epps, and many, many more. But beyond the stage, he inspires and uplifts youth, conducting workshops and seminars in high schools and colleges. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you this, the disclosure in PSA. Get ready for an uproarious conversation with my guy, the person I consider top 5 comedian alive, Mr. Alton Walker. Alton, how you doing today, brother?
man, what's going on, man? What's happening, bro?
I'm just trying to be in your world, man.
Man, I thank you for letting me be in your world. For real, man. I appreciate it. Hey, y'all excuse the my background, man. I got stuff falling off and everything on my wall.
All good, man. Let's
You
give
gotta
everybody.
create your own personal studio. So my soundproof stuff is falling off and everything. I want a background like yours. I'm like, look at his background.
Hey, $5 still goes a long way, bro. $5 and I got you covered. I got you covered, man. So we gave everybody enough time to pull over and to put all their food and drink down. So we're gonna get into it, man. Like, again, I've been a huge follower of yours probably since the R&B workouts, right?
Oh yeah,
when you taught
man.
me the Jodeci step, the KC step, right? It
Yeah.
didn't work. I didn't lose a lot of weight, but it was still good though.
I gotta bring it back. So many people want me to bring it back. I just gotta find the time to do it, man. But
Yes, sir.
that R&B workout was amazing. That was
It was great, but when you stopped, I gained all the weight back. I was a slim 225
listen.
when you had it going.
That was one of the best events I ever created in my life, man. We did a live event, so it was amazing. Sold out every time we did it, man.
Man, that's amazing, man. And like, again, one of the top 5 comedians, in my opinion, in the world. And it's my opinion. So anybody want to argue with me, hold up your phone and do a selfie, argue with that person you're looking at. But
Wow.
when did comedy become a thing? And you do more, right? You write, you produce. Like, when did that
Yeah.
become a thing for Alton?
I mean, the first time I got actually paid to do stand up. I used to, always host. I was doing, I've been on stage since high school, well, really before that. I'm a church boy, so we've been on stage, I've been on
Right.
stage all my life.
Easter Sunday.
Right. So, but in high school, I was in drama club, and I was always a comedic relief, but nobody told me about stand-up comedy. And I actually did my first stand-up set in 10th grade, but nobody told me about being a stand-up comedian. I didn't even know what that was. So when I got around, like, in college, I would host all the time, and then, got into radio, and I was always host events, but didn't know about stand-up comedy. I just thought, hey, I just host. I'm funny, and then somebody asked me, hey, can you do, I think, like 15 minutes for $250 or something like that? I was like, oh. And so I got up there and talked for 15 minutes and did whatever. And it worked. It worked, man. So that's when I was like, oh, this is how you do it. Okay. So that's really when I knew that you could make money in comedy, and then of course you got to figure out the marketing and all that part. But yeah, I mean, I got paid for the first time and I realized, oh, I can make this into a career.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
One of the things that I love about you and that I admire about you, though, is that you actually do make it a craft, right? Like, you don't take even the content creation piece. It's not just like, I'm just gonna throw some stuff out there. Like, you really hone it in. And I think a lot of people miss that, whether they're a comedian in their business life, in their personal life, they don't try to master a skill. But
Yeah.
Alton, you master that crap, bro.
Yeah, man. I believe if you're gonna do it, become a student of whatever you do. I just, and that was with everything. I originally wanted to be a drummer, you know, and I will play drums for hours and hours and hours, just trying to become great at playing drums. I wish I would did it for basketball, but I probably would have been in the NBA. I just didn't know. No, I didn't have that concept of what hard work can, bring to you. But anyway, yeah, man. I believe if you be a student and be consistent and work hard at anything you do, man, you're gonna be successful. I really want to know the ins and out of what comedy is and how to create comedy, what makes people laugh. I read books about it. I know formulas about it. I know the ins and outs, and I'm still learning. So I believe you become a master of whatever you want to do, or just don't do it at all. Don't half step it.
Yes, sir.
That's how
Yes,
I
sir.
am, man.
And you're the perfect person to answer this question because I have this conversation. I'm a huge fan of comedy, of stand-up comedy, of the writing of comedy. And I tell people all the time, cookout funny and being on stage when people expect you to laugh funny are two totally different things. And you were just kind of elaborating on that too about the reading and the studying. For everybody out there, man, like let them know just because you funny at a cookout don't mean you can go bless the stage for 15, 30, 45,
Look,
60 minutes.
people do it all the time. They think they could be funny, and I'm like, get on that stage, man. And they get on, they be like, whoop. Like it's a lot of social media comedians because they get on stage for the first time and they be like, oh, it ain't what I thought. So and you still got some comedians that's just naturally funny. They don't quite know what they are doing, the
Mhm.
terminologies and they're just great at it. It's some better comedians that's just funny, but they don't know what they really doing. They just been doing it for a long time. They've been on stage. They know an audience. But me, I am a student of this thing. I could teach you how to create a joke now. Like I know the ins and out. I know what make people laugh. And that will kind of separate comedians, you know what I'm saying? You could tell a comedian that's just goofy, just silly on stage and this and that. And then you could tell a well professional student written comedian. You like, oh no, that took some thought. I'm one of those that I'm gonna take some thought into every joke. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And another thing that I love about you in your sets, man, you are funny from beginning to end. There are a lot of, I'm going to say professional, famous comedians that, they got a 30, 45-minute set. The first 7 minutes are amazing. And then after that, it's like, that's all he got. That's all she got. You are literally from second one until when I have to pick my jaw up off the ground, you are that guy from literally beginning to end. And again, like, how do you do that? I know a lot of it is the studying, the formulating what you're gonna do, but like, how did you get to that level of from minute 1 to minute 45, I'm tearing their mouth out?
Yeah, I mean, it's really a lot of stage time, man. Every comedian will tell you, man. Like I treat comedy like a sport. I created like 2 years ago. I created a thing called the comedy gym because I treat it like a sport. Like Steph Curry shoots thousands of shots a week. Probably he shoots a lot of shots a week. So as a comedian, you have to do these open mics. You have to do stages. So
Yeah.
during the week, man, I'm on a stage. Whether it's 2 people in the audience, 5 people, I found that it's a comedy world where there's open mics and there's different rooms where you can go and work out material. And shoot, to be honest with you, Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, they still pop up at these comedy clubs when you don't know, and they'll pop up to work out material. And so that's what I do. Like every set, every joke, I'm working it out. I'm saying it over and over again, rearranging things. Okay, I'm listening to an audience, to see what they respond to and whether, okay, do I like that response? Am I okay with that response? Or how do I respond to their response? You know what I'm saying? How do I react to it? Comedy is it's a communication. A lot of comedians, they just want people to laugh. They just listen for laughs and that's it. But I listen for reaction. So, it takes time it takes shooting that shot. It takes keep shooting, keep working that joke. I'm gonna go hit a stage tonight. Like I'm still working. And then you get into different audience because every audience ain't the same. So I've been in rooms where they were playing poker behind me and the TVs are on. I'm talking about the NBA finals is on and they playing poker and we got people do comedy in front of.
Yep.
It's like you gotta put yourself in different scenarios, white rooms, black rooms, Hispanic, like just to make sure your material is working and you dissect it and rearrange it. So that's how I can go from minute 1 to minute and 20 and keep your attention. And it ain't necessarily about being funny every second. It's just Dave Chappelle says it. It's not all about being funny, but being interesting. If I can keep your attention, that's all that really matters.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So who were some of your mentors getting into the comedy game?
Well, I'll put it like this. I never had anybody to take me under their wing. Like nobody really, you got those. When I look at mentors, I look at somebody you have a relationship that you talk to on consistent basis, probably a couple of times a week. I till this day, I still don't have that. I never really had. Now I've had people that poured into me, like Ricky Smiley, I could call him a mentor, but we're not. Like I don't talk to him all the time. You know what I'm saying? So he's a person that poured into me, and he poured into me a lot every time I'm on the show. Ricky Smiley is giving me game. Marcus D. Wiley, Yolanda Adam Morning Show. These are cats that I could call and just get answers to. You know what I'm saying? Right now I'm on tour with Kev on Stage.
Yep.
And although he's only 1 year older than me, man, I'm learning so much from this guy. So with me, I get my inspiration and my information like that. Now I would love to have a person to really, really mentor me, but hey, it just never happened for me. I don't know. Have you ever had a mentor? I never had one.
I do. I have a couple. Like I believe in having coaches, man, because for me, I have to stay on top of my game and learn from wisdom of other people. So absolutely.
Yeah, like I just never had, and I always wanted somebody to, look out and take me in. Like I said, don't get me wrong, I have people that I can call and get advice from, but when I think of mentorship, I think of really having that person that's close, that checking on you, making sure you're good. I just never had that.
That accountability part.
That accountability, I never had it. Never.
Okay. Well, that's amazing because, bro, like I said, top 5, in my opinion, best comedian out there. And that's from top to bottom, top 5 for sure.
And speaking on, like I said, like, and you don't, obviously, I guess I didn't need one, but I do, like I said, you can have, I guess you could call that mentorship. I guess I just look at mentorship as really, really somebody you can really like, it's a relationship.
Once a week, we're going to get on the phone. We got scheduled conversations or stop by. Yeah, no, I feel you.
So, yeah.
So on Mick Unplugged, man, we talk about your because, that thing that's deeper than your why, right? I tell people all the time, I think your why is superficial, right? Like your kids are your why. Like, yeah, they should be your why, right? But your because is your purpose. Your because is that thing that every day you're going to check and say, I'm doing this because A, B, and C. If I were to say, Alton Walker, man, what is your because? What's your purpose? Like, why are you doing really what you do?
Man, that's a question I have to I have to re-ask myself and remind myself all the time. Like it's becoming every day. Like I know I'm here to laughter is medicine. God gave me the gift of laughter, and it's healing, And I know I'm here to use my gifts and talent to, what we call bring glory to Him, or it ain't even it really is a God thing. I'm not gonna it's to bring glory to Him. It's to heal people from their people are troubled, man. And so I'm really now in my groove of what I'm doing. So if you come to my show, you'll get maybe like 50-something minutes of laughter. And then that last 10 minutes, man, it's inspiring, encouraging words and this and that. And when I'm coming to find out, man, people forget about my whole 50 minutes and they remember their last, like right now I'm on tour with Kev on stage. And people will remember my last 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes of inspiring words than the 20-something minutes that I did of laughter. So
Yep.
I'm really like in my groove of while I'm here, man. I'm here to heal people, man. Through a message, man, to make you laugh, but at the end of the day, let you know you're gonna be all right. This is what everything's good.
Yes,
But
sir.
for a minute, you want to do it for the money. I still do comedy for money. But when it's all for money, it can really turn you go down the wrong road when it's all you doing is for money. And it's discouraging. I recently realized, man, that man, in this world, nothing can make you happy, man. Nothing, no person, nothing completely can make you happy in this world. And so that's why I kept asking the question. And so why am I doing this? If you think about it, everything you accomplish, you get it, you do it, and then it's something else you want, which is like it's a never ending of happiness because you can't get happiness from things or even a person. So you have to find what you just talked about, because if you don't, man, you're going to always look for happiness in things and the person, and you're never going to be complete, ever.
I agree 1,000%. So one of my mentors, accountability partners, Carl Lester Crumpler, who lives in Atlanta as well too. He challenged me about a year ago talking about happiness, and he was like, "Mick, are you happy?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm really happy." And he said, "Are you fulfilled?"
Mm.
And I was like, "Doggone it, Carl Lester, you got me." Like, no, I'm
Yeah.
not fulfilled. He said, "People think and chase happiness, but what it really is about is joy and fulfillment, because that's really what you're seeking. That's the thing that you're really driving for." And that totally changed my perspective on how I wanted to do everything. And starting the podcast, it was like, yeah, it's about joy and fulfillment, man, because happiness comes and goes, right? Like I don't care who you are, you're never happy 24/7, right? Like there are moments in the day, in the week that is like, crap, like I got to deal with this or I got to go solve this. You can still be fulfilled. And so for me, that's what it became, man.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm dude name, I don't know if you ever heard of Anthony DeMello. I'm reading a lot of his stuff, man, and it's been helpful, because when you start chasing the money, I'm always real with my business. And I say this in my comedy show. Me chasing money, because it was a point where I didn't feel like comedy was working or it wasn't going as fast as I wanted to go. And I remember like still being successful on tour. I think I was on tour with Desi but it's just like my career is not moving like I want it to move, and it's taking too long to get to that financial place. So I remember I started trading stocks, man. And I ain't gonna lie, that first month I did well. I was on this dude Discord, and shout out to him, dude named Aristotle Investment. He does not nothing against what he would do. They would give you calls, teach you how to trade. I started doing my own thing.
Okay.
That first month I made like $20,000, man. It was killing it. That second month and beyond. And I remember hearing clearly a voice of God saying, look, man, because it was getting to a point where, and a lot of times this is what happens, we get discouraged in our gifts and we'll try to move to something else, try to still hold on to our gifts, but we put more attention to that something else. And that's what I was doing. I was giving that more attention. I remember being on my phone, like during like comedy shows or, at the radio station where I should be focused. It's like when I should be focused in the gift, I'm giving it to stocks. And I remember kept losing money, and God's like, hey, man, it ain't nothing wrong with stocks, but that's not that's not what I called you to do. Your millions is in your gifts. And every time you throw yourself in your gift and your talent, you make a lot of money. Man, look, I lost over $140,000 in trading stocks, and I made I made all that money with comedy. You know what I'm saying? And so I always encourage people to stay focused and because when you're not happy, and you're not fulfilled like you was talking about, you will go to other things, and man, you'll get lost in that thing. It was a dark moment, even now, trying to get out of it. I'd be like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
man.
God is good. I'm
All
able
the
to
time.
eat. I ain't broke. But $140,000, that was an expensive lesson to say, hey man, get back on your grind and on you. Focus on you and what God created you to do, and everything is gonna come. And every time I do it, man, I killed. I made the most money in comedy.
Okay.
My biggest check has been comedy,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But like I said, it wasn't moving like I wanted it to move.
Yep.
And that's what happens when you lose focus and you go to something else. So yeah, $140,000 lesson to say, Alton, get back to the grind of comedy.
Yeah, I don't care who you are. $140,000 is $140,000. Like that's
Man.
a big lesson.
Oh, I want my money back so bad, man. But I'm getting it back, but it is getting it back like with comedy. Like I wanted to get it back the way I lost it. And
Well,
that's why I kept on losing, because I'm like, I'm gonna get this back with the stocks. Like,
yeah.
it
That's why
just,
Vegas is what Vegas is. Everybody has
yeah,
that same mentality.
yeah. And my girl had to say that, hey man, you slick gambling. I was like, I hate to say it like that, but yeah, I was. It became gambling, trying to get my money back. At first it was wealth growing because I was sticking with the rules, and those who trade stocks and do it the right way, they are successful. It just ain't my thing. I ain't disciplined enough to do stock. Not with that. I'm disciplined with what I'm disciplining. But that stock
So
market, no, that ain't me.
so what I heard was God wasn't pleased with that.
God, and that's what he was saying. And I remember telling the guys, I'm like, well, till you do something else, I'm gonna trade these stocks. And it wasn't him punishing. He wasn't punishing me. Nothing like it was nothing. Had to do nothing with punishment. He just know me, and he's like, I'm trying to keep you from losing more. But that's just not. Put your focus back on the purpose.
Yeah.
And when you take your focus off of purpose, you're going to lose. I'm telling you, you're gonna lose every time.
Every time. Every time. So speaking of God ain't pleased, when did that start? Like what was the mindset of starting I'm gonna say that brand, because to me it's become a brand, right?
Yeah.
So tell us the evolution of that.
I would do these things called Sunday services. I would be preaching. I post them a few clips every once in a while, but every Sunday, me and my homegirl, she would be like my one member in this Facebook Live, and I'd be preaching about whatever current event went down, and I would just say, "And God ain't pleased," not even knowing I'm doing it. And I just started seeing people in the comments saying, and somebody said, "Man, I need that T-shirt." And so I'm like, okay. So I started doing my rants and just saying, God ain't pleased, and I go, and then I start stuttering, not knowing. I'm like, and I'm not even knowing I'm doing it.
That's what
And
every
that's when I
Baptist preacher
learned,
says to you.
look, read your comments. And I know some of your comments are like crazy and but some of them comments can make you some money. The R&B workout event came from a comment. I was putting no videos out in that viral video, and somebody said, "Ooh, I take this class." I was like, created a class. And I remember that first one, I just put 50 tickets early bird. That junk sold out in like 10 minutes. Because it was like, man, your comment. So basically, God ain't pleased came from the audience saying, it came from me saying it,
Yeah.
but me paying attention to the audience. Going back to comedy, on that stand-up, I'm just not just speaking, but I'm listening to responses. Okay, what are they getting? So smack that thing on the t-shirt and now it's a brand, you know?
It is totally a brand. My favorite Instagram reels weekly are the God Ain't Please clips because, bro, you give it to me every time. I even put in the comments, man. Like there was one time, and the reason I told everybody to put your food and drinks down, we were at dinner and I'm rolling through Instagram and you popped up and obviously, I usually have the volume down. I always turn the volume up on yours and I about lost it. I about lost it, and I was like, I'm done. I think that's the comment I put in there too. Like, I'm done. I can't mess with Alton no more. Not
Man,
this week.
and I just like to have fun, man. Like, a lot of people, because my show can be edgy, but it is what it is, man.
Yeah. Hey, I love it, man. I freaking love it. I love it. And another thing that I love about what you do is it's you're never bashing anyone, right? It's just you're saying what other people are thinking. It's just let me bring it to your attention.
Now, some I do, I go straight at, but I like when, because what people think I'm going to say, like when they think I'm about to go at them, and I don't, you know, that's the thing. So like with the big girls, like when I
That was the one. I
with
didn't want to
Melissa
say
Whites, baby. I
I
love
didn't want
Melissa
to say
Whites, man, but plus size women, baby. Shout out to y'all.
dude, because all you see is the picture of her trying to walk through this doorway, and I was like, I gotta hear what you're about to say because I'm about to lose it.
Yeah, baby. Really. Give my people number 777 9311.
Yes, sir.
And I
Yes.
do that because, also, man, like everything I do has purpose, man. It's a lot of plus size women that are like, because this world make you feel like you got to be a certain size. You got to be, so I don't believe in body shaming, so it's to encourage them. And I get a lot of plus size women in my DM saying thank you, this and this and that. Like shout out to, and I am attracted to plus size women, especially they got curves and this and this. Night, I don't discriminate. I do like plus size women because people are like you don't really like them. Yes, I do.
At Alton Walker Show is his Instagram handle. He does check his DMs. He will respond to you, ladies.
Yeah,
At Alton Walker Show on Instagram.
plus size women hit me up, baby.
So I got to go to another. Again, I'm gonna say it's a brand because you posted it as video of the year. It was
Oh
my song of the year.
man,
And the crazy thing was I saw it, I think it was in July on the Morning Hustle show, right?
yeah.
So I'm watching it and I was like, what in the world? And then when he did the clip of it, I was like, that is it. That is my jam. I actually do. I have the audio version. I probably listened to it and like for one of my cousins, because you guys look alike, like that is literally the ringtone that I have for the week. Now he don't ever call me, but he always texts. But if he were to call, that's what would
That's
come
what he
up.
talk. They
Yes,
not
sir.
like that was and what's crazy about that is when I was going through a time where comedy wasn't funny. I mean, it just wasn't fun.
Yeah.
I wasn't having fun with comedy. I didn't feel like I ain't gonna lie. I felt like I was getting overlooked on a few opportunities. Couldn't find nobody to help me like I was just in that space, and I just was like, you know what? Let me figure this out. Let me get back to the fun of it. And soon I started getting back to the fun and the purpose, like we've been talking about. That was one of the first videos that I did. It was like,
Yeah.
oh, we just gonna have fun, man.
Yeah, it
And
wasn't even a week and it had over 1 million views?
well, it's crazy because I posted the first time, it moved, but it didn't move.
Yeah.
And then what happened was Kendrick Lamar did his concert
Mhm.
in LA. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna drop it again because at the time I posted it, it was like They Not Like Us it was kind of dying down a little bit. It was still around, but him doing that concert made it come back up. So
Yeah.
I dropped it again, and that's when it took off.
Did we ever give the character a name? I know we gave it like
I ain't even gave him a name yet, man. Cause I did a
well,
few other videos with him that went well, cause he's just an old school rapper that rap about old people, like what old people should rap about. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole idea.
Those
But
young whippersnappers.
man, sometimes and I learned like with social media, man. I recently just did it. I pulled a video from 2020, a Christmas video, and reposted it, and it went viral. The first time I posted it, it was like 100,000 views. I posted it again. It got up over 1 million views.
Yeah, I tell people it's the same thing with books, right? Like you see a book come out and you think it's new, and then you realize, oh, this book was written 20 years ago, but it's just recirculating because something happened, made it relevant, or the social media team or the marketing team decided to push it now. Like it's always, I tell everybody, if not that if you're trying to be an influencer, because to me that's hard. Like you either are or you're not. Like you don't try
Yeah.
to be an
Yeah.
influencer. But if you want to test your content, like, test it. Like, it's your content, right? Like, you don't have to say, "Oh, I posted it once and now it has to sit there." Like, nah, if you believe in the material that you have and the things you created, like, it's yours. You own it. Like, you can post it every day if you want to, right? And I think that's where people make a mistake. It's like, "Oh, well, I posted it once and nobody did anything, nobody commented." I'm like, "Hey, part of that could be the algorithm. Part of it could have just been like, I know for me, like I did something, thought it was about to be hot, and then the next day Joe Biden said, 'I'm out the race.'" It was like that killed everything. But
Right.
then brought it back like a month later and it started taking off
Start
again.
taking off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that's learning, from like, cause I will say this, going back, I do have a lot of colleagues and peers that like I said, I really learned a lot with about. I don't know if you ever heard of Shula King.
Yeah.
Shula
Yeah.
King, man, I could call it, and he's a person that, like, he the one that got me really doing God Ain't Please like the way I do it. Because I used to take a lot of time. People don't do a lot of content because it takes them a long time. But Shula was like, "Hey, man, stop editing your stuff. Stop redoing it 30 times." And this, because I be wanting it so perfect.
Yep.
And I found out the internet, they hate perfection.
Yes. I learned that the hard way too. Like, I can literally take my phone and just record sitting right here, and it will get more
It would
attention
go.
than yeah. Like, I can spend 45 minutes editing something, the right message, the right voice, the right tone. Still nobody care.
Yeah.
But let
If
me
you
go
if you
stumble down
trying
the
to do
steps.
it, say it again now.
I said, but let me go stumble down the steps and everybody fall out over that.
Listen, look, I'm looking at you right now. Content creators, if you're struggling, if you want to get in social media, stop pressuring yourself. Stop making it hard. Stop overthinking. That's the word I was looking for. Stop overthinking.
Yes, sir.
My most viral videos come from me not overthinking. Like, just put it out there. Don't worry about if it get likes. Don't worry about the comments. Like, you have to start doing this for you. What makes me laugh, or what I think is funny. Because like I said, it'd be the video you spend hours making. And you were like, "Oh yeah, man, it's good. Look good."
Yep.
You post that thing. You were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, let me take you down and repost it." Post it again. Wait a minute. Like,
Yep.
whoa. And then, like I said, the
Absolutely.
video where you just talking and being real, like, that's what I learned about the internet. Like, they hate perfection. They love just authenticity. I think I said that
Yeah.
word right.
Yeah. You
So
did. You did well. You did well. So God Ain't Pleased, man. Like, I'm gonna start calling him Bishop Gap for God Ain't Pleased. Bishop Gap. When Bishop Gap.
Bishop, that is funny.
So again, man, like I know how that one came about. We just talked about the character that we don't have a name for yet, man.
Dang, guy gave me. I'm hoping Kendrick let me open up for the Super Bowl, because I know he heard the song.
Well,
He
let's
had to
put it
heard
out
it. He
there.
had to hear that thing.
Let's put it out there. His
Man,
people got to be hearing something.
like, it ain't no way that thing went too viral for him not to hear it. So hopefully he'll
Agreed.
hit me up and be like, "Hey man, yeah, just open up the Super Bowl." If he do that, man, I lose my mind.
Well, I want to see you lose your mind. What mind you got left? I want to see you lose it. I want to see you lose it. Hey, so man, again, just honored to have you on, man. Is there anything you want to leave the people with today?
I mean, again, man, what I really want people to do especially for 2025, man, is to really own your greatness, man. That's what I'm on. I was raised a Christian, church world, and a lot of time in the church world, we take being humble or humility to a whole nother level. We take that. We take humble to let people just walk over you type stuff,
Yeah.
because we don't want to outshine people. So, humble and humility to us is stay low. Like, be great, but don't talk about it. When somebody say you good, oh man, no. And I'm at a place where I'm not dimming my light for anybody. I'm not dimming my light to make you feel comfortable around me or to make you feel better or feel, I'm not doing that no more. And where I got it from is when they looked at Jesus and said, who are you? He said, I am. And say that to somebody now. Just like, if I came over, you ask me, okay, Alton, who are you? Man, I am. You'll be like, man, this dude is cocky. And that's what they did. They thought Jesus was like, man, they were like, who you think you is to say that? But in reality, he wasn't lying. To the Christian world, he's the son of God. So he was telling the truth. I am that I am. And so when I looked at that, I'm like, why are we not like that? Why are we not moving around like I am? And the reason why I put emphasis on that, because if Jesus doesn't know who he is, he can't do the miracles that he performs. So he miss out on all those opportunities to be God.
Yeah.
And I feel like when we move around and we don't know our greatness, we don't know that I am, we will miss out on opportunities. We won't see them because we don't understand how great we are, because we don't think we good enough for it.
Yeah.
So I'm going around this world and like, hey, own your greatness. Be great and don't apologize for it. Don't dim your light for nobody. Stop making people feel good. No. Listen, when they look at you and say who you are, I am. And own it. I've been looking at your stuff. It looks good. I don't know how much work you put in, how much study you put behind podcasts, but you know what you're doing, man. And never, ever again dim your light. And I know you're probably not doing it, but man, own it. You great at this. This is what you do, man. And it looks amazing, bro. And I'm proud of you. And I can't wait to see how you take over 225. I like that you said, hey, man, I got the #1 podcast. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And now
I needed that message today.
God dog it, I'm sick of this. You over here trying to be like you ain't who you are. I'm sick of it, man.
I needed it today, Reverend.
Let's
I
get
needed
it, man. It's your time. And it's only your time. And sometimes we'll miss our time because, again, we forget how great we are. And you're not great because you're great because God created you, but you're great because you put the time and effort in it.
Yes, sir.
That's why you're great. That's why you're great. Yes,
Yes,
you're
sir.
naturally talented. But me, yes, I'm naturally talented. LeBron is naturally talented. But what makes him great is the effort and time that he put in it. And that's why you can say, I am great. Not because it's by accident. It's because I put the work in to get to this greatness. So that's what I want to leave people. Sick of this.
Bishop Gap, I needed that one, brother. I needed that one.
Let's get it, man.
Man, so again, thank you. Thank you. This won't be the last. We'll do something in person. We'll go out to the studios at Urban One and record some in-person stuff too. Maybe
Man, we'd love to, man.
We'll do something. Bro,
Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate you more than you know.
Man, I appreciate you having me, man.
Absolutely. For all the listeners and viewers, remember, your because is your superpower. Go unleash it.
Thank you for tuning in to Mick Unplugged. Keep pushing your limits, embracing your purpose, and chasing greatness. Until next time, stay unstoppable.